how about 10 minutes? We visit you there.
Sure, come on by in 10 minutes. So around 10:55.
Yeah, we'll
in
drop by.
Gainesville.
Yeah. Cool. See you guys. Cheers, everybody.
The University of Florida is a large system. They have this burgeoning interest in online education to supply their whole state system.
I would say that we have to be the provider for that. Like, they don't go and build their own platform for the Florida Online University. To be honest, they just walked right into the model we described. I didn't think it would happen. I didn't think it would happen so fast. But if University of Florida, if they become a 3-year institution and we're that first year for them, I think there's a lot of alignment there. Do we all? Let's start with step one. Do we all agree there's some potential for a deal here?
I mean, this is similar to what we were talking
about.
Okay,
so
it's right in line with
let's talk about the logistics then. If they want an equity stake, what kind of money are we looking for? What kind of terms do we want to put into something like that?
Well, do we want an equity stake, or should we consider like a shared profit model, something like this?
So the model that they have with the Penn classes that they're licensing out to Antioch is a 6 to 15% of revenue, 20% of gross profit. That's, I think, standard to what you've seen in some of their other contracts.
And the University of Florida is the state of Florida has said that they will put in $15 million into building this online portal for the universities, and then we'll give the University of Florida $5 million after that. They need this money in order to stay afloat. They have huge ambitions to become a top 10 public university.
Do we need the capital though? We have $23 million in VC money.
Well,
that's going to carry us through 3 to 5 years.
I don't know if we need the capital, but we mentioned before we need the champion, right? Like we need these 1 or 2 like key partners to like show how this is going to work. So if the University of Florida is willing to be a first mover, then maybe this is worth it.
Maybe that's a route towards exclusive content as well.
Yeah.
Right. If they're a partner, then it's an exclusive content.
Yeah. Does it need to be equity? I mean, we can say for each course, you receive the tuition, we have a shared model for the revenue.
I don't know if it necessarily needs to be equity, but it needs to be somewhat binding, because what we don't want is like someone like edX to like come in and and open this up, and then suddenly the University of Florida walks away. So we want something that's going to bind them for the long term. If it's equity or it's a long-term contract, then fine. But I don't think we want it to just be shared revenue alone. It has to be with some sort of like long-term limit set.
What's the implication of being equity? Negative implication. Let's just brainstorm.
Loss of brand recognition, basically becoming a background player for the University of Florida. I mean, I think that's kind of the biggest impact. I mean, right now we already have a worldwide name.
There's a lot more work to be done to make sure that the teaching is right, that the methodology is right, that the way that students interact with their professors and with each other is refined. And so I think that the University of Florida and having the test case speaks to that, but not overlooking that this is an imperfect process, and we need someone like Florida who has an online bachelor's in business, has an online bachelor's in kinesiology and a couple other core areas. Like, there's someone who's been playing with this already, and they can kind of help us refine this model, but not overlooking that, yes, we think we're onto something, we think we're close to like having it right, but acknowledging that like more work needs to be done.
Right, but we also have the strength of having all this data from the variety of different
we can help
providers.
It provides the incentive for the student to finish the Coursera course. Right now their completion rates are dismal. It's a huge problem, it's a PR problem for them. It's a problem with the validation of their pedagogy that we talked about. So maybe this Florida model, in a larger sense, this gateway model that, hey, you complete these 2 years of core technical courses with Coursera, you're invited to campus for those higher level courses and the degree, is that incentive to raise those completion rates through the roof.